Greetings, Caymans. Mr. Iker here. Going to be learning not about probability like the previous lessons. Today we're learning basically about statistics. There's a whole field of study, a whole class at our school called statistics or AP statistics. So what exactly do you do in statistics or with statistics? What is it? Well, basically, a quick summary of what exactly is statistics. Anytime people collect survey information or a bunch of different options, you might get a bunch of numbers. These numbers, it says, come from a teacher asked his class how many years each had been attending a TCA school. This might be interesting for administrators, seeing how many students are lifers at Classical Academy High School, or how many students are brand new, like had never attended Classical Academy High School before. So we have this string of numbers, and it's really difficult to do anything with that string of numbers. So there's two things that we do. Number one, we're going to display the data. And this, after you've completed these lessons 3 and 4, I want you to be able to read and know how to construct different displays of data, dot plots, stem plots, and box plots. And then not only displaying the data helps us to visualize what's going on in different relationships and stuff, but number two, we can also summarize the data, the center and the spread of the data. So by the end of this lesson, I hope that you understand how to calculate the mean and the median, as well as the range, the interquartile range, and the standard deviation. So there's a lot of things there, but to answer my initial question, what is statistics? Basically, statistics is taking a bunch of data, a bunch of numbers, and making it useful, making it something that we can actually learn something from. So question A says, make a dot plot to display this data, and then make a stem plot to display the data. And then just a side note, a 12 represents a senior who took this survey. And they had finished 12 years at one of the TCA schools, meaning they were kindergarten to 11th grade. That would be 12 years. So a student who said 0, for instance, that would be a brand new student to the school. So make a dot plot. So when making a dot plot, we need a horizontal axis, a horizontal scale, like so. And then this is going to display the number of years at TCA school. And it looks like the smallest number in our data set is 0, and the largest number looks like it's 12. So we'll count off from 0 to 12. You can do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or I think what I might do is to just go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 6, 4, 2. Okay. So that's our horizontal scale. And then you're going to put one dot. This is why it's called a dot plot. You're going to put one dot for each number that's represented, and the dots are going to be stacked on top of each other. So we have a 3. So 3 is going to go right in here. And then you have another 3, so stacked on top of the previous one. Then you have 2 6s. Note when making a dot plot, you want to kind of keep the levels of the dots the same. You won't want to put the second dot like way up here, because that's a little like deceptive looking. They should be the same height dots. So let me erase that. So we have right about here. And then we have a 4, a 2, a 4, a 9. 4, 2, 4 again, 9. 12, 8, 4, 3, 12, 8, 4, 3, 12, 5, 1, 4, 12, 5, 1, 4, 2, 4, 12, 3, 2, 4, 12, 3, 5, 11, 4, 3, 5, 11, 4, 3, and 0, 4, 10, 9. 0, 4, 10, 9. There you go. So just to double check that I didn't miss any dots, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Looks like there's 28 students in the class, so I should have 28 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 28 dots. Okay, so it looks like I got everything. Now, initially, when we were looking at this data of the number of years they've been attending a classical academy school, it would be really difficult just looking at these numbers to tell, like, just answer different questions. How many brand new students? How many lifers? How many students started and have been in the high school the whole time? Those are difficult questions to answer. But when we have a dot plot like this, we can make some observations. We'll come back to this stem plot in a second, but let's just answer what are some observations that we could make. Well, it looks like there's a bunch of students who were at the 4, so they've been attending the school for 4 years, so that would be 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, well, I guess how they're counting it, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, because most of the students in this class were seniors. So we have many students in this class. I've attended, and maybe I'll say like 3 to 4, because that was our mode, our high points. Attended 3 to 4 years. So that's the majority. Maybe another observation you can make is this section right here. There's quite a few students who are from the 8 to 12 years, and there's kind of 2 groups. So maybe we'll say that we have 2 groups of students. We have the large number who are 6 or less years. So that's that kind of group on the left, all these people. And then we have a smaller number who are 8+ years. You could also see that very few, pretty quickly, right? You could see very few, only 1 student is brand new. And you could see pretty quickly, you have, and the class has 3 lifers, students who have attended since kindergarten. I guess there's lots of other observations that we could make. It's kind of interesting that there's no student at the 7, so there's this gap in attendance. Other observations that we could make, I mean, maybe just the general observation that you have students in this class that are brand new to the school and all the way to lifers. We've kind of addressed that before, but the range, we would call that. The range is the largest number minus the smallest number. So the range would be 12 years. So you have quite the range for a number of students. And I'm guessing that these students are the students who joined either as a freshman, so they had 9th, 10th, 11th grade, or they joined as 8th graders. So it's really interesting, this stack, since 4 represents how many years they've completed. And if these are seniors, that means this stack, they've completed 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. So that's kind of interesting, right? Because maybe what happened is they knew they wanted to come to the high school for 9th, 10th, 11th, but they wanted to try to get in early, right? Because sometimes it might be difficult to get in if there isn't space at the school. So they actually started wisely in 8th grade, so then they would have a better chance to make it into 9th grade. So maybe that's what happened. All these observations would be really difficult to make if we were just looking at these numbers. It would take a long time to kind of summarize those numbers, but displaying it in a dot plot like this, you can make a lot of observations really quickly. Next, I want to show you how to make a stem plot. A stem plot would look like this. We're going to have a vertical line. Let me move it over a little bit. Vertical line. And maybe let me have a clear demarcation here between the dot plot and the stem plot. So a stem plot is also known as a stem and leaf plot. So you've probably seen these in junior high. The stem's going to go on the left, and the stem is based on the values that you have here. And then the leaf, in this context, the leaf would be the units place, not units as in hours, but units like the first digit, whereas stem is going to be the tens, or the like 10, 11, 12. So our stem and leaf plot, we're going to have numbers that are single digit numbers, and then we're going to have numbers that start with a 1, as in like 10, 11, 12. So let's start with 10, 11, 12. So we have at 1, 10. So a stem plot, this 1 represents the 1 in 10. And then this 0 next to it is a leaf, and that represents that there's 1, 10, 1, 0. And then to identify this guy right there, that would be a 1 again. And you'd write a 1 here, so now that represents 11. And then you have 3 12s, so you'd have 3 2s. So the way you read this is it would be a 1 and a 0, a 1 and a 1, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 2 again, and a 1 and a 2 again. So that's basically kind of converting it back to the original information. And then the other numbers, to make sure I can fit them all on the screen here, we'd have 0, 0. That represents the 0 case. That represents this one right here. And then 0, 1, that would be that one. You have 2 2s. There's that. You have 5 3s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 2 5s and 2 6s. So this is a stem plot. Like that. So this is years at TCA school. And this line represents, to include a key for people to know how to interpret this, 0/0, that equals 0 years. Or for instance, 1/2, that would be 12 years. So that is a stem plot, and we're going to look in the next video at another stem plot, since stem plots are a little bit more challenging to create or understand compared to dot plots. Dot plots are typically the easiest one, just one dot per student at the number of years that they've attended the TCA schools. But that's a dot plot and a stem plot. Thank you for watching this video. Hope it was helpful. Please message me or your teacher if you have any questions, and give me a thumbs up here on YouTube if you like the video.